Well, I definitely want to thank you for attending the workshop. It's always a pleasure to meet people, face to face again. So that's always a plus. But, tell, what was something that you actually got out of the workshop, by you attending the workshop? Something just really struck you want to share.
Well, first I have to really say thank you for providing us with this opportunity. All the workshops that I've attended that you hosted have been amazing thus far. For me, what I got out of the workshop was a solid plan. Oftentimes, you hear on the internet, you hear all these things about what you can do with your business, and you might jump down that rabbit hole, but then you get stuck. The nice thing about this workshop was, I literally have step 1 to step 7 of what I can do to help manage these different businesses, grow these different businesses, and just continue to grow. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a lot out of it. See, and I knew walking into that, I was like, hey, you gotta make sure you ask him some questions, because, like I told you, he's trained differently in business. He's trained to sell a business. So it's like, when we're talking, it's like, okay, if we're thinking exit strategy, no matter what, we don't need to put out an arbitrarily long time period. We're looking to sell when the market says we can go. But in the meantime, between time, what are we going to build, in the business and like you say, step by step. I know you appreciate the methodical approach. Like for him to be able to manage as many companies as he talked about managing, it was still like, oh wow, I'm not going to ever do that, but I know I can manage, less than that, and so it's interesting to see how he even looks at it, when it comes to like having multiple companies that you're growing, but it's interesting to hear that, you got that out of the workshop where you say, oh, I got for sure step by step. And that just comes from somebody that's actually done it. I think the biggest thing on the marketplace today is not buying quality CEO level advice. That's CEO level advice. Obviously, he has CEO level advice in multiple industries. I mean, you could almost say he's what would be the definition of a true serial entrepreneur. So when these guys are over here perpetrating on the internet, he's somebody that's jumped out of 1 business, 2 business, 3 business. I've had a bank in Antigua. I had a bank in Lithuania. I had a bank, I had a jet company in Florida. These are the things that are like, okay, he shared deals that he was doing. You know what I mean? There was no doubt about that, correct?
Correct.
So if somebody's even sharing deals that they done with you, it's like, oh wow, this isn't like the complete internet where he just kind of like showed me the story. He was kind of gave me a whole process too by telling me some stories. It's like, dang, he got the real old sage advice. So it's interesting to, have somebody of that caliber around you. I just value those relationships, and that's ultimately what you can do. For somebody that would be listening, if you were new, now you knew what you knew, what would you say to you?
You have to invest in yourself. I think back to like high school and college, and I'm not discrediting any of that information, but I wish I would have taken the time to truly take just one more step towards investing in myself in this type of information. You got to invest in yourself. You have to.
If you only knew how much it cost. I'm trying to tell you, this is right here. This is going to put it like this. The best part about it is, there's so many beautiful things about it. But ultimately, you become more valuable. And that is on the inside. And that's the part that the fools don't get. Is when you invest in yourself, you become more valuable. It's not easy. You got to go get the real information. Some investments are going to be a botch. Some investments are going to yield profits. That's how it works. It's an investment in yourself. So you say, well, how many investments am I going to go down for myself? It's like, well, how many investments you going to go up for yourself? These are the questions that you have to meticulously, supposedly ask yourself on your way to achieving the compounded interest of success.
It actually costs more if you don't invest in yourself.
Correct.
That's what people don't realize.
Correct. Correct. That's where we really are right now. And I just appreciate you being able to share that. You know, that one thing alone can change someone's life. You know, well, I got to invest in myself. Look, you don't want to know that the education might cost you $30,000 this year. Because I know you ain't ready to pony up 10 to 15. And that's low. People paying that for their kids' high school education. So if you're not willing to pony up the 15, it's like, come on, man, that's airfare fees. You better go ahead and set that business up and put that company fly card on there and get ready to put about $18,000 on that company credit card so you can get to these workshops, so you can get around the country, and so you can be in the rooms where you're not missing the elite information. You can say, well, we're not locked out of the information. We're just getting our money up.
Right.
The information is what you're investing in. That's what they're investing in. That's why they're still meeting each other. It doesn't matter how much money you get. They're still meeting each other. So it's not, oh, well, you know, I'm going to get all the money, then I'm going to stop going. No, you got to go, and then you'll get the money, and then you'll stay there, and then you'll make more money.
Yep.
But is it cheap? I promise you, it's definitely not going to be on the light side. You have to be okay with almost dropping an M every year. 1 to 3 M's. Easy. That's just on flights around the world, and that's just workshops, hotels. You got to be willing to drop that level of capital to go and get in private rooms to even have a substantial sit at the table. It's like pulling up to a poker table. You got to come with enough chips. And for sure, the number that I just said it is something you want to come around with. It's easy to say, oh, I'm coming around with a couple $100,000 a year. No, we're talking actually coming through with $1 million, $4 million plus. Even in today's day and age. So appreciate you for, sharing your points. So you would say it's well worth the investment.
Absolutely.
Every time.
Absolutely.
Well, appreciate you. You enjoy the rest of your day.